Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Savanna Stay-at-Home Safaris. It's another perfect winter's morning, clear blue skies, sun just rising over my left shoulder. We're going to start off trying to find what happened to the Ottawa Pride last night, see if we can find any signs of them. There was some zebra alarm calling not too far from us, so hopefully they've got some idea of where the lions have gone. But it looks like it's going to be a good day, and hopefully the sightings will provide. Right, so we found the zebra that was making the calls. It also sounds like there's some more further to the south of us, and he's running across to try and meet up with those. Interestingly, that stallion had some big gashes on his left rumps, almost certainly from the lions, but I didn't think it was that fresh. I don't think that's from now. I don't think he's met the lions in the last half an hour or so. But interesting to see that the zebras are split and trying to regroup perhaps. So maybe the lions are still in the area. We haven't found any tracks yet, but we'll keep looking. Right, so we managed to finally find some tracks for the pride. We come out of that block not far from where that zebra was calling. So we're going to shoot around to the northern side of that and hopefully pick up some more tracks, or hopefully find the animals. So let's see if we can find them. Impala. Right, so after quite a bit of tracking, we managed to get audio of the lions on a kill. We rushed in here and found the Ottawa Pride on the remains of what looks like an Impala kill. Already not too much left, and they're already fighting over the scraps, but great to see some action between them. It's quite cool to watch how these young males are once again having this interaction. Quite far from where the main kill was. They were playing with a stick, which is in itself quite interesting. But the two males there strengthening the bond, but still, as we mentioned in the previous episode, the older male just trying to assert his dominance for when these three young males, if they do make it and become an independent coalition, most likely those three males will stay together and there'll be a definite hierarchy within them, and the older young male should be dominant over the three of them. So already starting to establish that. Right, so it seems like those lions are settling down. We've left them kind of abruptly. We've just had a call from the people at Mackenzie camp that there are supposedly some wild dogs near their camp. So we're going to shoot over there while the lions are finishing up their kill and settling down. And hopefully we get the dogs on some action as well. So this whole thumbs that they can be found. So I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that we managed to find the dogs. They are just off the clearing at Mackenzie camp. Unfortunately, it seems like the activity for the day has happened. They've settled down in the shade here of a nice big marula tree, and quite likely that they're going to be here for the majority of the day. But at least we got somewhere to start off with for the afternoon. Definitely start off with here, maybe a bit later in the afternoon when they're likely to get moving. But some other good news is that the alpha female is exceptionally pregnant. She's ready to pop. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have some baby wild dogs on the property, but they can still move quite a long way in those weeks. So we'll see where they end up deciding to den, but not far off. Okay, so as expected, not too much movement from the dogs at this time of the morning. A little bit of resettling and just moving for the shade, but other than that, they're going to pretty much stay there for the rest of the day. So we're going to head back for some breakfast and try and catch up with them this afternoon. Alright, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back out on safari. Dan and I are back out. The good day has continued. So we're going to be heading out and obviously following up on the dogs and the Ottawa Pride. Nice to start off with a very relaxed herd of Kuru. We generally don't get to see them all that well. Now in winter, when these deciduous trees start losing their leaves, the visibility into the bush becomes a little bit better and we start seeing them a bit more. So great to get a good view. There are two cows there just ruminating, which is also not something you see too often. The process of ruminating, when they actually regurgitate the bolus of undigested vegetation back into the mouth, and they can re-chew it and chew it to a finer consistency before swallowing that again. And often in the heat of the day, that's when they will do the ruminating. And now in the afternoon, as it cools down, they'll start feeding again and filling that first chamber of the four-chambered stomach. It's a great example of that. So we're down here at Mackenzie Campan, and it's a nice little group of about 5 buffalo bulls, old Duggar boys as we call them. A big herd of buffalo has not been on the property for some time now. We're not sure where they are, how far they've gone, but there's always these old stragglers, these big old bulls that choose not to move with the big herd. And anywhere there's a good source of water or good source of grazing, they tend to hang about and not move too much, stay pretty sedentary. But when you speak to most of the guides and trackers, these are the guys that you least likely want to meet on foot. They look pretty docile now, but on foot they can be pretty hair-raising. So we've just rejoined the pack now. It looks like our timing's been good. They're just starting to get active. The sun's low in the horizon now, cooling down nicely. Hopefully we'll get some action of them on the hunt today. So it looks like they're starting off by taking us through quite a thick block here on top of the crest. It's full of black monkey orange, which is quite a fun block to follow them through, but fortunately they're going through fairly slowly at the moment. If they see something and start chasing in this block, it could be a different story, but for now they're moving nice and slowly, so it should be no problem. So they're definitely on the hunt right now. You can see how they got to the top of the crest and all stopped, scanned the areas in front of them to see if there's any impalas that they can have a go at. I think they're definitely on the lookout though. Fortunately for us, we've got 2 Delaney vehicles with us, so between the 3 of us we might be able to hold on to them this afternoon and hopefully get lucky. So it seems like while we're following through that thick block there, that a couple of the dogs or part of the pack had a go at something. We're not sure exactly what, but we've got view of 3 or 4 of the individuals of the pack still here in the edge of the clearing, and it seems like they're waiting for the others to come back or regroup. Interestingly, this one that we're looking at now is one that was quite badly injured a few weeks back. Those of you who have seen some of the previous episodes will remember the one with a very bad limp, and he's recovered very well. He's just showing slight signs of favouring that leg now. So it seems like they haven't really been successful. Majority of the pack are now out in the clearing, slowly moving more north. So unfortunately they've come out in this clearing and there's no impalas, but there is a herd of about 10 wildebeest that they've seen. They've definitely gone into stalk mode. I have never seen this particular pack hunt wildebeest, but they do tend to play with them, so we might get a bit of interaction between the wildebeest and the wild dog now. So you can see how the wildebeest have surrounded this bush and got their backsides in towards the bush so that the wild dog can only attack from one end. And I think the wild dog are more playing than being having any serious intent of attacking them, but obviously keeping an eye open for any injured one or potentially a young calf, but at the moment it doesn't look like that this is the case, so it's more just teasing and playing. Right, everyone, I think that's the end of the day. Unfortunately did not see the pack have a go at a herd of impalas or make a hunt, but really cool to see them have that interaction with the wildebeest at the end of the day. It's getting a little bit dark to follow them through that thick block, so we're going to call it a day and we'll see you all in the morning. Have a good night.